Wonderful viewers. Without you, we will not be in the studio. My name is Shegun Odunayo. You're welcome to the Roundtable. It's another beautiful, cold episode of the Roundtable. And I have, as usual, with me in the studio, two wonderful guys. Together, we'll be dissecting the issues happening in the polity and discussing matters that concerns the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Like I said earlier, Shegun Odunayo is my name. To my right, I have Femi Morgan. Femi, good afternoon to you. How are you feeling this beautiful and cold Thursday?
It's been a good day.
All right.
But the sun will come out very soon.
Very soon, hopefully. And to my left, oh my goodness, I'm looking for adjectives to qualify him, and I have none. I have no other person about Ahmed Fateh, the man who adjectives have refused to come out to be qualified.
Thank you so much, Shegun. It's fantastic to be here. I'm very cold,
Yeah,
actually. Yeah.
I can see. I can see. Yeah. Very quickly, let's get into the matters that concern the public. Just in case you do not know, there's a wind, or should I say a wave of verdicts coming from the tribunal as regarding members of the House of Representatives. APC members are losing their seats. Labour Party members are losing their seats. PDP members are also losing their seats. Everything is happening all at the same time, and it's getting the polity quite interesting. Just today, and Honorable Elumelu lost his seat to a Labour Party person. And if you do understand the business in the House of Reps, if you understand the business that goes on at the Green Chamber, especially when it comes to representatives from the Southeast, you need to truly recognize that Honorable Elumelu is one very strong person. Unfortunately, the tribunal has ruled that that seat does not belong to him, but to the candidate of the Labour Party. And that is not the only thing that has happened as regarding that particular position. In Lagos, a few days ago, Honorable Atta was declared as not being the winner, but there's going to be a rerun in that particular axis because 32 polling units were said to still be needed as regarding the decision by the tribunal. They said INEC should not have announced that because elections did not hold in 32 polling units. Therefore, there's probably still hope for candidates of the PDP who was second in that particular election, Mr. Olubankole Wellington, and of course the incumbent at the time and the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Mr. Babajide Obanikoro. Let me start with you, Femi. I just gave two examples, the one that happened today and the one that happened in Lagos, but others have been removed in certain places. Some APC members of the House of Reps have lost their seats. For some, there will be reruns. Different stakes for different folks, strokes for different folks.
My concern is that the federal government of Nigeria will have to spend some additional money cleaning up the organ stable, correcting certain flaws of the elections, the general elections, as the courts unfold or unfolds the elections of the House of Rep and National Assembly. Also, I'm also concerned that this is happening at a time when the federal government has also spent some money training the new House of Rep members in order to understand the workings of the House of Rep members. True. So if you remove Mr. Elumelu and you bring an EDD, you are going to retrain her. Another set of 16 House of Rep members, 16 House of Rep and National Assembly members are also going to be changed and called.
Possibly changed because they can equally appeal, and they some will probably win their cases.
Going to be possibly changed. So there's going to be the flaw in this election is going to cost Nigeria another bulk of funds. But nevertheless, I feel that it's good for democracy. Yeah,
it makes it thick.
Yeah, it's good for democracy to have, such checks where we can take out those who have corruptly, or those who have
unconstitutionally,
those who have navigated unconstitutional ways of winning elections. And then the courts are correcting it. It will give respite to people who are
the common man
who wants urgent representation.
Very quickly,
remove Atta. Perhaps some people are saying Atta is not working, or perhaps they are saying it's working. But if you remove him, or if you attempt to remove him, he would be on his toes to do what he needs to do for the people of Etiosa.
Very quickly, Ahmed Fatih, do you think this is the beauty of democracy, or is this quite expensive and wasteful? Or you think indeed it will make sure these guys are working, they'll be on their toes, watching their backs, because they know power truly belongs to the people?
Well, in as much as it is costly for Nigeria, looking at the fact that we are a broke country, I mean, very broke. So looking at the fact that we are a broke country, I strongly think that it is expensive for us. However, we have to still understand that the will of the people has to supersede all the time. So when we have an election whereby in 32 to 35 different polling units, there was no election conducted there, and you want to bring the will of a certain set of people over the large population of people, then that will be against what democracy stands for. So I strongly think that it is important that we have such a rerun so that we can be able to get the dividends of democracy, and which is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So it is important that we have those elections. And also, if you look at some of these election process that happened, a lot of people would come out to say that, oh, I mean, this person that is winning my constituency, I don't even know the person, I've not heard of the person. And then the court is here to say that, oh, this person should leave. However, this same person still has the opportunity to still appeal the decision of the court that, hey, see, you guys have said that I have not rightly won this election. My emergency is unconstitutional. Then let us go back to the basis and let us review everything altogether.
Very quickly now to you now, Femi. These questions were raised. People came out, just using a Tiosa as an example. People came out on election day to vote. Those 32 polling units that elections were not hold according to, elections did not hold according to, in quotes, now according to the tribunal. Persons did come out to vote on election day. Especially on the island, on that presidential election day, we knew what happened. Ulabalu, controversy, chaos, catastrophe. Now, does the blame lie on the people that probably fled, that fled areas, or on INEC, or on security agents and security agencies? Because people, especially this 2023 election, people did turn up, especially in Lagos, especially on the island, especially in that particular constituency. Who does the blame lie?
The INEC will work with figures available to it after elections. The INEC does not have security intelligence, does not have any guns or bazooka to restrain any kind of violence. Its work is to count the votes and say the numbers are
X, Y, Z.
numbers are that. And given the numbers at that time, minus 32 polling units, it went for attack. And you can understand how it went for attack. You have a robust population of people from Igbo land. Apologies to anyone who feels that I've said something wrong. But you have a robust population of people from the east around that area. They wanted to do a spite.
Do you think it was
about
Do you think it was about that, or about that axis having some of the most intelligent voting population who could on their own decide what they wanted without influence from anybody, and the average voter in that place?
There are so many intelligent voting populations. Intelligence does not mean that we go the same way. You can be intelligent. Ahmed is as intelligent as I am. We don't have to agree. We don't have to. You can vote for someone. I can decide to go for Obi. It doesn't stop the relationship. Neither does it stop the levels of intelligence. But there can be organized voting. There can be protest voting. There can be spiked votes.
I didn't vote for Tinubu anyways.
Yes, I understand. But there can be spiked votes. And it's understandable when a group of people, say, okay, we are not voting for APC. And the wave of obedience at that time favored Atta. Nobody knew Atta. Just the same way one Okada man in Benue or something.
I mean, that election was
Nasarawa
that election was ruled out.
you know.
He has lost his seat.
I'll bring the same question to you now, Amit. My question is 32 polling units, according to tribunal, did not vote. I'm saying, looking at what happened on that day, in that axis, in that region, at that time, during that period in February, did 32 polling units decide to not want to vote, or did we see, did they experience circumstances that were beyond them because of the rancor, the chaos, the confusion brought on certain persons by a certain group?
Well, I would go back to some of the things I said last week when I said that we had an election that was flawed with a lot of irregularities. And as far as Nigerian election is concerned, I'm not sure we have grown up to the extent of getting past irregularities in our elections, right? So there were a lot of malpractices, electoral violence in that axis on that very day because of some particular set of things. I mean, some people who are loyal to, I do not want to mention parties or names, who are loyal to this person or wanting to vote for this person or wanting the emergence of this person, right? So it is, you cannot remove it, despite how supposedly they are intelligent and supposedly they are the elite of the elites in our area or our state, right? It is still this same set of people that you had a lot of recorded number of electoral violence in their axis when the election was conducted, right? So it tells you that electoral violence in Nigeria is a problem that we've not still been able to solve. And if we want to look at who should be in charge of curbing electoral violence, then as Morgan said, INEC does not have security intelligence or security report. So it goes back to Nigeria's security system. I mean, every election nearing process, the IG would come to say that we are deploying 500,000 police officers to man the 2023 general election. I just use a number for example. I mean, so when the IG comes out to say that, oh, we are going to be deploying this number of people, I can remember elections where even journalists were pursued by the supposedly police officers from polling units where they want to, report. Where they want to report. So a lot of irregularities. There are a lot of things that we have to work on. A lot of things, and everything goes back to our security outfits in the country. Now, the beauty of it now is that we don't even have only the police and the Nigerian police force manning the election at the moment. They now get help from civil defense. They get help from a lot of other security outfits in the country. So we have to be able to charge. Let us petition those who are in charge of these people to ensure that our system is cleansed of people who are enabling violences, enabling corruption, enabling electoral violence and electoral malpractices in our polling units, in our wards, in our states, and in our country at large. Thank you.
I'm just surprised.
Okay.
I'm just surprised that when the election was announced, did INEC tell us that this election is minus 32 polling units?
No.
The election
let me not say no. They would have.
They would have.
You know why I said they would have? They would have said from so number thousand thousand of votes
minus
coming from, it's a collation.
It's a collation.
And they would have obviously seen the places that, okay, cancelled, election violence cancelled, election violence.
Not publicly.
No, it's a reps, it's a house of reps
for it
election.
to be cancelled.
So it's going to be, there's going to be a collation center within that region.
Shegun.
Yes. It's not the state.
Say 32 polling units.
Yes.
Are not voting or did not vote.
Yes.
The question for me, and the question that comes easily to me,
yes,
is it big enough to nullify?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That for the tribunal to have nullified that polling unit, it means that the number of is big enough to influence
change.
The outcome of the election.
Yes.
So I mean that would be
so
definitely
you are saying
what
why didn't they announce the why did they name why did they not give us results when they could have easily said that the election was
perhaps there are laws that guide the INEC
that says you must announce.
You must announce.
You can't just say there's no because
I feel
you are not the courts, I guess.
For me, I feel that our institutions need to be empowered enough to make certain decisions that are very crucial instead of allowing us to waste money. If 32 polling units are big enough
to affect
a vote, don't delay us too much. Let
so what do you advise?
Advise the government. This polling unit, though, we have to do a rerun. 32 polling units.
But I think that is where the court comes in. The court is the final.
Our court is always back and forth. We are going to waste time and money.
But I think it is part of the beauty. Like you said earlier, that's the beauty of democracy.
Yeah.
I mean, if INEC is the one organizing, you are the umpire, you are the judge and the jury.
No. What I'm saying is, INEC should advise us.
Who in that state?
Advise the government.
As at then?
Yeah, we have. Yes, as at then.
Let me give you a scenario. A situation where somebody from Labour Party, like it happened, won.
Yeah.
The 32 polling units
because that
not met. I'm giving an example.
Glaring.
So who does INEC advise in that particular scenario? Advise an APC government about what to do concerning an election that a Labour Party man has won?
It's always good for me. It's always good to put it out there.
I think that is why INEC is independent. INEC should not.
Good,
I think on this particular matter, so that we can quickly wrap up and move to other topics.
It's good for an umpire to put it out in the public and say, this 32 polling units.
It will have been announced. It will have been announced on the day. I'm so sure it will have been announced. No. Of course, I was at on the day on the day of the state elections.
Advice is not saying do it.
I was at the INEC on the office, and the spreadsheet is there.
Of course.
You will hear areas and pollings that have been cancelled. In fact, the rec will even ask you what caused cancellation.
Of course.
Certain times you will hear INEC officials did not show up.
Yes.
Certain times you will hear violence.
Sometimes you will hear that LURT people did not bring the ballot box on time and all of that.
I think INEC are not doing badly, honestly. So we have a lot of things on our plate right now. We really have to move on to the next topic. But the beauty of it all is that in an election process, everything ends up in the courts. That is if you decide to petition the courts. And that is why they say the courts are the final hopes of the common man. So that's the beauty of it. When they feel there's dispute, when they feel there's a problem, when they feel there's anything that is wrong, approach the courts, let them do their duty, and let the society and the system continue to carry on. We'll move on to the next thing on our agenda now, which is school fee hike and the protests that have enveloped our society. We'll be taking Unilag as an example. Was it not sometime last week? Myself and some of my colleagues were there to cover protests. And of course, members of NANS and other guys were not allowed to protest. They were weeks away. Femi Adeyeye, a comrade from that institution, was arrested. The NANS PRO, Giwa, arrested. The whole protest and the whole thing, cardboard strewn away. You know when you get to a protest ground that you can, everybody running for their lives. You have more security agents there that you probably have in Sambisa, and you begin to wonder what is really going on. And then OAU as well, increase in school fees. Perhaps other institutions will be following suit.
University of Benin.
Perhaps certain colleges and other education environments. We'll be doing same. I remember that this government came out to say at a point some months ago that they are not increasing school fees. I think that was before Mr. Delarake was minister for is it mines now? He was still in the inner course of the federal. Exactly. Yeah. Now I'll start with you now, Femi, and of course I'll end with Fuate Hamid. Yeah. This new wave. As of today, I was told that even parents were planning to protest. Yesterday, things were happening. I still saw pictures and videos of Femi, Adeyeye now are still leading a team into Unilag Senate building and all that. The increase has been astronomical. Yeah. What is going on, Femi Adeyeye? Our own Femi Morgan.
For me, it's a dilemma. You have a government that wants to give universities autonomy. And universities have been campaigning for autonomy for years.
And it looks like it is coming.
And if you want autonomy, you have to also go with financial autonomy. You can't say, I want autonomy on governance, I want autonomy on infrastructure.
But you don't have autonomy on fees.
You continue to pay me money. If you want autonomy, take the autonomy and go. You know, that's the dilemma one. Dilemma two is that, according to certain agreements, UNICEF agreements and other agreements, government is supposed to fund education at least 15% of the budget. Government has never reached 15%. Government has always circled 3, 4, 5% of the budget to education. So government has not really funded education enough.
As they should.
For it to be mature enough to reach that
to take our people,
level. So you have universities with dilapidated infrastructure.
Of course, we know this.
Electricity issues.
We know this.
You have lecturer issues. You have all of these issues. Even our universities don't even have enough lecturers. And even the young ones,
qualified though.
And even the young ones don't even want to do PhDs because they know it's a long journey. You know? So those are major challenges. This is going to affect school enrollment at a higher level. When I went to one of my universities, my university students are going to be paying. I went to AU. They are going to be paying 91,000. I paid 4,000.
That's quite cheap.
I paid 4,000.
If you consider where I went and now paying, so that people don't roast me.
As undergraduate was 8,000 when I was coming in, but the rest was 4,000. My father practically paid my school fees out of his pockets.
Easily.
And it was a lifesaver.
It was.
It was a lifesaver, you know, and I'm grateful for that. But here we have, you know, 98,121 and almost 400% increase. It is
more than.
We also asked the government, student loan. Where is the student loan?
We have not had 18 in a while now. Before I come to you, Ahmed Fatih, I paid 23,100 naira or so for years. A few years after I left that school, as I now, in fact, I don't think I will have been able to afford the university I attended. The government, a state-owned institution for that matter, for my first degree. And what they pay now is, what will now be paid now, if this comes into play. And the parents is not like the parents of then are different from the new parents now. It's not like they are now working.
Or they are now AI parents.
Yes. It's not like these guys, they are paying, people paying for them. You pay school fees. You have people, it's our community. It's a community. It's a society. We are part of it. We collect monies and pay for certain people. You help. Yeah. Look at this. Ahmed Fatih. What is going on?
Well, let me start by saying that we have to first realize that the Nigeria that we had today, in as much as I would want to make comparison with Serenity, probably because I attended a private university and I paid humongous amount of money.
Oh, so you cannot understand?
So, no, it's not that I can't understand, but
what we are
obviously,
talking about.
I attended a national diploma in over here in Nigeria too, which is public. No, in Nigeria here, and I understand how it is, the benefit and the advantage of, paying very little of money to get education, right? So, we first need to understand, the government rather, first need to understand that Nigeria is not a country where people are financially independent. Do you get? I've worked with NGOs whereby we had to raise huge amount of money to pay for people's tuition. I mean, just accumulation of tuitions now. It is easy for you to say, okay, let me pay this semester and I'm paying, let's say, for example, 12,000 naira, for example. But by the time it piles up, this semester you didn't pay, the following semester you didn't pay, the third semester you didn't pay. That's 2 sessions. And you have about 60-something thousand naira to pay. And it is even very much difficult for parents to pay this amount of money. That is the angle I want the government to look at it from. That even the little amount of money that are being charged in the past, parents do not even have enough to pay this amount of money. Now, when we now have a state whereby we now have an increase to about almost 500% increase in tuition of education in the country, then it is a dilemma, and it is not going to take us anywhere, but it is going to be retrogressive, and it's going to tell a lot on the quality of education in Nigeria. However, on the flip side, we have to understand that education should not be free. See,
that's controversial.
Yes, it's controversial. Awolowo might have come to say that give the child of the poor man free education, right? Even Awolowo himself did not enjoy a free education.
But he gave free education.
I'm not saying he did not give free education, but even his own free education was not even up to the university level. Today we would say that, 100 level students in US, college students now, that means secondary school, are doing practicals to produce phones. Today in Nigeria, can our SS3 students even produce the littlest of, what's it called, technology? I was reading a report that 2 students of a secondary school in Lagos here produce a sort of
I remember.
A machine that can separate, they are from, what's it called? What's the name of this Makoko area of Lagos? They produce an equipment that can sieve good water out of this poor water that they have in their community, right? Now, if you look at how huge that machine that those children bought is, if they were not to be in Nigeria, they probably would have been able to get some sophisticated materials, to get better funding, to get a machine that would fit, that would make sense, to be able to sieve that good water out. That tells you that we do not have what's it called, a level playing ground in Nigeria as far as education is concerned. Why? Because we lack funding. And Morgan has stated it clearly that you would also see, go back to the government of Nigeria, that since they've reached several agreements that, okay, at least you should pay 15% of the funding of education in Nigeria, the federal government has not even been able to pay 5% of the money that they are meant to pay. Because if these monies, because at the end of the day, if university get autonomy, it is fantastic. Schools will be able to pay their lecturers. They'll be able to do these things themselves. However, government pay 15%. Why? It is to the growth of the country itself. Because when we have our schools producing highly intellectual, look at the intellectuals that we have in Nigeria. Look at this lady, young secondary school lady some years ago that went to Capipedia to answer, what's it called, tens of questions in seconds. I mean, mathematics that, in fact, it probably will take me about 30 minutes to solve one of these equations.
60 minutes, please.
Yeah. To solve these equations.
Yeah.
Right. So, this is what I'm saying. I probably will not use 60 minutes. I attended school of statistics.
65.
So, these are the things we are saying. We are saying that the government of Nigeria should appropriately fund education in Nigeria. Of course, they should also give the universities their autonomy. Why? So that we can stop the incessant strike that we have. Look at Lautech today, right? The Lautech today, one of the beauties that I love is the fact that Lautech is now independent.
Yeah.
They are under the sole control for your state.
Yeah.
The state government is the one, okay, we are the one in charge of this school and we are going to make it work. Now, I have friends who used 8 years in Lautech.
The Lautech years.
Of the past. I have friends who used 8-9 years in the school.
Now, peculiar about that.
My younger sister, my immediate younger sister, we were chatting a while ago, and she told me that she's going to 400 level. I was surprised because in my head I still had that stereotype of the Lautech of the past that I knew. I mean, you are Fauziya, how 400 level? How? I was surprised. I mean, you got into school just a few days ago. There in my head. So this is what we are saying. So if universities are properly
funded, you are supporting
I'm supporting the increase in a way.
One question to Femi before we flip. My producers are telling me we have to flip to the next topic.
Yeah.
But it's free education that Awolowo brought to our people now an impossible thing.
Well,
it's a polar question. Yes or no?
No.
It is not impossible.
It is not impossible.
Amid Fateh, it's a polar question.
It is possible.
Yes or no?
Yes, it is possible. However, not
no. That's not the question I asked you. You have all right. We do hope something is done about it. Personally, I feel that I attended one of the cheapest universities at the time. I've always attended cheap universities. and they are quality universities.
We attended
no
cheap universities.
So and we still have eggheads amongst us, despite the cheap education we got. The subsidy coming from the government at the time was wonderful. We didn't have the best. We probably went through a lot of trekking on campus. We didn't have enough vehicles carrying us around. Our classes were probably not the best. We probably like 200 people in class. But we went to school. We studied hard, and we went past it, and we are fine. People do not have these monies. Parents are trying to survive. People are only trying to move on. The economy is probably not buoyant. Not probably. The economy is not buoyant enough for our people. So if you keep increasing these monies by over 70, 100, 150%, I was told that one particular course in Unilag moved from 19,000 to 190,000 something thousand. From 19,000 to 197,000. God will help us. Very quickly, we move to the next topic. It's an unusual topic for us here because usually we discuss politics and political issues that are eating up the polity. But this time around, we have another topic that is seriously eating up the polity, but is not politics. We are going to be talking about in the entertainment industry and the culture of bullying. And if, of course, we all do listen to music, regardless of the type of music you listen to, but we know that bullying looks like it's a part of our entertainment industry. We are bringing this to the topic this afternoon, because of the late music wonder kid who lost his life a few days ago and was buried about 24 hours ago or so. And videos have been coming up on the internet to show us how he was being bullied by several persons at several points. And this went on for a while, and it looked like the world was quiet about it. Unfortunately, after his exit, it's now on the front burner. But the entertainment industry and bullying, if you do know the entertainment industry, you know that most times when a person has issues with his label, he's usually just kept away from the world, or pushed in one corner, or not given access to certain people and certain things. I think I should start from Hamid this time because I've been too Femi Morganish. Hamid Fateh, this is a norm. Now a life has been lost, and many persons are saying it is as a result of bullying.
If we are not careful, more lives are going to be lost.
No.
That's the truth. Because we cannot continue the same way
and expect a different result.
Right? And I think that this is a call on a lot of people in the entertainment industry. Those who are the ones who know who have voices, to be able to set precedents for others to follow. Right? If we start looking at the history of artists and record labels in Nigeria, then you realize that this thing is not just something that started today. It's been on for a long time. And there has not been a way to end this chaos. For me, it's chaos. I mean, for something to have cost the life of someone, then it is chaos and nothing else. So, someone has died now. Dying and not, living the best of his life before dying, having to go through depression, having to go through mental issues, having to go through bullying. I was watching several videos online. I mean, it's not even now bullying in just a one-time thing. It was a constant of time. I mean, it is not something, it is abysmal. And strongly, right, I think that the videos that are online are enough for our security agencies to pursue certain personalities.
To question certain persons.
That, oh, why are you involved in this? It is just so painful that the said person, Mohbad, has been buried. I really would have loved an autopsy to be carried out on his corpse to let us see that, okay, truly, is it the claim that they said that, okay, this is what led to his death, that really did lead to his death? Okay, was this person poisoned? Was this person badly injected? Was this person
it looks like
suffocated?
It looks like we have no answers to those questions.
Get, I mean, these are a lot of questions that we should have actually asked, but it was buried. I read somewhere that they wanted to do it, but the parents insisted, because of course, if I probably was his father, I probably would have insisted that let us just bury him, because I mean, this is a boy who has, at his young age, has gone through quite a lot of things that you can't even explain them.
Very quickly, there is so much controversy about this death, Femi Morgan, and I think there is still so much that the public does not know about.
Yeah.
Because several questions have been asked, and we do not have enough answers to those questions. this was going on for how long. He kept saying he was bullied because he left a particular label. Why were you being bullied? It looks like there was so much that was held from the public, despite the fact that he wanted the public to still come into the matter. You are calling the public in, but somehow we do not know, or the public does not know why you are getting them involved. But you just want people to know there was an issue. And the issue, look at the videos. Many of those videos, I never saw them before yesterday. I mean,
did they surface online until yesterday?
Nobody, no people. I mean, by nobody, I mean the public probably never knew about some of those things. And look at videos, look at revelations coming out. So why is bullying a major part of this industry?
The creative sector started as a one-man show. A musician is successful, decides that he wants to set up a record label. Does not have the professional management skills to run a record label. And before you know it, the record label is being run like a syndicate, like a tyranny. And you join the record label, you are also not very intelligent enough to know that you need a lawyer. You sign a couple of documents, or you don't even sign any documents.
You just start.
You just start. You people live in the same room, in Lekki, drink all the pop champagne, do all sorts of things, do some songs. One song blow, one song not
does
blow.
Not blow.
One song is my own, one song
it's
is
not your own.
They begin to drag. And for me, I'm concerned. Is it a record label, or is it a crime syndicate, or are they doing more than music there?
That the public does not know.
That is now that you are now bullying someone to the point where the person is now depressed, is now contemplating suicide, and is going to the point of you going to attack him in places where he's finding his feet.
Not once or twice.
Places where he's trying to find his feet. There should be proper contracts for the music industry. I feel that there should be some level of regulation. It should not be so tight enough to stifle creativity, but there should be some level of regulation.
It's probably one of those industries where we don't know how much comes in per year and goes out.
No,
it's not like the hotel business. It's not like even the newspaper business.
It's not like the film industry.
Film, movie industry, football industry. You know how much you sign, you know how much you are paid. You know how the whole thing goes. Sports.
Of course, we need entertainment lawyers to come in. We need psychologists to come in. We need other people to come in. We need media people to come in. We need the entertainment industry to be structured. And
that's actually one of our biggest exports.
Yes, we need it to be structured. We need people who can catalog music and put it in the right places. Mohbad owns this one. These are his royalties. This, when he dies, he will go to his family and his children, so that people would earn properly from their music. If you dig deep, it's all about money. It's all about money. It's all about relevance. It's also about a man who is trying to survive out of his creative asset. Anything outside that, the police needs to wade in. Is he a crime syndicate?
Why is anybody being beaten?
That's why I say the last time I've been beaten was in boarding school.
Why is somebody running away from imagine us being on set now, we have to start running away on set.
So it has to be more, there has to be more involved.
I mean, the same person that has been bullying this person morning.
No, sorry, I'm sorry, I don't want us to sound like the average person or
I understand.
I'm saying, what if there are even like 1 billion people bullying this person and we just know one face or a couple of persons?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, our topic says the entertainment industry and bullying, the culture of bullying.
I'm saying in essence.
Now, we saw what happened when some of the, the beautiful thing about artistry is that you show it in your lyrics. So other persons have come out to say, I experienced same thing in the past. Of course, we are trying not to mention names now, but other persons have come out to say, when I left ABC, I experienced XYZ. When I left QWR, I experienced ZMN. Are you getting my point? This is not like the first, but I think this is the first that is leading or that was said to have led to death.
Yeah. That's why I said earlier that if care is not taken, we are still going to have more deaths. Why? Because there are still a lot of artists, a lot of creative minds that are still under this supposed bondage that they need to be freed from.
But don't you think they were helping them get on their feet in the first place? Is it not a business?
Getting you on your feet. I'm sorry, I would like to use a certain example of Kiss Daniel, not Kiss Daniel. Now, he came out to tell his own story. I mean, for someone who was as popular as at the time, to be earning 30,000 naira, to be earning 50,000 naira after being increased, it is ridiculous.
Did you see his contract papers?
I mean, that was what he came out to say. I mean, so he said, that's what I said, he said. So these are issues. These are issues that needs to, and I love what Morgan said earlier, that the person is senseless or not sensible enough to have a lawyer. I mean, you can't be a creative mind with much influence and fame, and you do not even have a lawyer. That is why it is pathetic that you have some employers paying their employees a ridiculous amount of money under the guise of, well, we've given you a job. These are things that should be critically analyzed. I think that we need more entertainment lawyer in Nigeria. I strongly think that our creative minds need to really take care of their own psychological life. Serious, visit psychologists. Let them check their mental state. Let them be let them have this regular checkup to know their own state of mind themselves. That's number 2. And number 3, we have to also ensure that people are being carefully monitored. I mean, people should be properly, there should be a career path for people. I mean, you can decide to stay in a record label for till the end of your life. I mean, it doesn't matter. But at least when it becomes toxic, you should know when to say that, okay, let us end this relationship. Even as sacred as marriage is, God even gave a platform that, okay, you can live. So if that is possible, then why should it be the marriage to a record label that should be difficult for you to be separated from? So there are a lot of things that needs to be looked into. There are a lot of things that needs to be corrected. There are a lot of ills and wrongs in the society, in the entertainment industry, that needs to be strongly looked into. Look at even our Nollywood actors. Look at our comic acts. These people regularly, you have them having a lot of issues. Not even on sometimes even it comes from the fans. Now, getting into the industry itself. So there are a lot of problems that needs to be looked into. And I know that this debt now would open the light of the stakeholders of the industry to know that, oh, there are some things that we have to right. There are some wrongs.
Oh, we have to right.
In fact, some people who has been the, what's it called? Who has been the causes of certain problems in the past would now see clearly that, oh, probably these things that we are doing
should be changed, and the new thing should be brought on board.
Thank
you very much for that brilliant submission, Amit Fatih. And on that end of the story, we would like to wrap up this beautiful afternoon. It has been a full house. It has been an interesting day. I really do hope that you, our viewers, had fun as much as we did have fun. On behalf of Femi Morgan, on behalf of Amit Fatih, on behalf of the other, our wonderful team in the production room, pressing the right buttons and stressing for the right angles, my name is Shegun Dwyer, saying have yourselves a fantastic Thursday. And of course, when the weekend starts tomorrow, have a blast.
It's the weekend.
Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall